Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Global Happiness Specialist. That's right, I said it. Global Happiness Specialist, Inner Peace Practitioner, Oracle. That's right. I'm in a very small apartment, and I'm up here trying to bend spoons. Teacher, and more importantly, always a student. And this classroom of life, this journey, this you should see me. My eyes are closed, both of my hands are up, my palms are up. Oh, what do we say? What do I say about it? Happiness specialist. Let's talk about it. And I get a lot of new followers, new listeners. Thank you so much for finding. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate you. I don't know how you people are finding me, and that's the topic of today's show. And I'm going to get to it. Because one of the email criticisms that I get is, you talk about the same things at the beginning of the show, Rebecca. Can you get to the topic first and then maybe do the foundational things later? Yeah, I can do that. That sounds like a good idea today. And that's the practice, my dear audience, is always just to be open in the moment, open to new possibilities, open to change, open to turning right when you thought you were going to turn left. And this show today is about, God, I'm getting chills. This show today is about practicing the behaviors that will add to your peace, the behaviors that will add to your contentment. Let me just get right into it. When I say happiness specialist, let me share with you my definition of happiness. That's right off the bat. My definition of happiness is the ability to be an energy of peace, regardless of what happens. To be a vibration of peace, regardless of what happens. And I'm talking about from the minute I open my eyes until the minute I go to sleep. It is a 24/7. It is a commitment. It is an ongoing commitment. It is an ongoing priority. So when I say happiness is a practice skill, it is about practicing all of those skills in the moment. And today, one of the things that, I like to share with you what I've struggled with, what my challenges are. That's what the name of the show, Reality Spirituality. Yes. And the point is, my ego. Let me just back up a little bit. Let me give you a description of my ego. Let me give you my perspective. This has nothing to do with hating on the ego, it's just my perspective, what the ego does, what it loves to do. You know what? I don't know about you, but does that ego ever feel contented for a long period of time? I don't know about you, but it could be moments, it could be seconds after an accomplishment. I'm using air quotes as an accomplishment, and all of a sudden my ego is jumping onto another topic about what's wrong with something else. But that's the trick. That's the secret of gaining, let's see, I don't want to say gaining control, because it's not about gaining control. It's about witnessing, practicing, and witnessing the stories in the head and the stories in your head and what they're telling, what they're saying. My ego has nothing but bad news, nothing but dissatisfaction, nothing but, Rebecca, things could be different. We need more, Rebecca. We need more. We need more listeners. We need more likes. And I'm here to tell you all of that, that ego-driven desire and wants. I'm here to tell you I got rid of everything. Not I got rid of it. Scratch that. I didn't get rid of anything. When it's time, it just drops off, because if I'm prioritizing peace and happiness and contentment, guess what happens? When you make a priority, when you focus on what you prioritize, let me see if I'm getting this right, and what you focus on somehow magically comes into existence. However, there is a catch. It comes in existence when it's time, and not one moment sooner. And so the practice is, when I say the practice, I'm speaking about when I say happiness is a practice skill. So the practice is to constantly trust and be patient. Oh, okay, three. Trust, be patient, surrender. Surrender to whatever it is in the moment you are faced with. Hands up, surrender. I really didn't order this, universe. But can I take this back? Can we take that back to the kitchen? You know what I'm talking about. When life hits, it's not everything I ordered on the menu. However, the practice comes from traveling on the path and in constant awareness and constant reminder that time for me to be patient, time for me to relax and trust. I trust everything that's happened in my 67 years prior. I'm puffing. I'm letting out a lot of smoke. I'm puffing out a lot of stuff because I'm lost for words. So But the truth is, everything that's happened, from the house going to the handyman, from the health issues, from the IRS audit, from the attorney that drafted another amendment to family trust. I mean, don't even get me started. I have the same challenges you do, but the gift is they're custom. So each of these challenges, each of these life challenges are custom to each one of us. Custom for what? Custom to what I need, custom to what you need. It's serving you, specifically serving you. Meaning the universe is specifically customizing you. It's your plan. So, and if, you know what I always forget? If you want to speak with me live, you can just ask to join if you're on Wisdom. And then if you are on Blog Talk Radio, the number to call in here is, I always forget to tell the numbers, area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. And just press the number 1 if you want to speak with me live. So you can ask to join on Wisdom. I'm live on there, and then also on Blog Talk Radio. Back to the show. Definition of happiness, the ability to be an energy, the energy of peace. Let's get back to the practice. Answer yes or no, and I've asked this question before. I've asked these questions before, but I'm doing it a little different way. So be patient with me. Thank you. Yes or no? Can other people hurt your feelings? Can other people offend you? Can other people disappoint you? Do you blame other people for how you feel? Do you blame your circumstances for how you feel? If you answered yes to any of those questions, know that that's just a program that you've received. You know, I was thinking about it today. Well, I was sitting here getting inspiration. And the universe hit me with, do you know, it's the same story of Adam and Eve, where, and this is just the story, Adam and Eve before they knew they were naked. So that is before the programming. You following me? So the point is to recognize, to dig deep, to find, to dissect, and to root up, pull up the programming, because it's the program. And let me be very clear here. Hold on a second. Let me get my notes. The programming is responsible for taking anything personally. You were not born taking anything personally. The programming is responsible for comparing yourself to someone else. That's a big one in today's world. Looking at someone else and making a comparison. Do we compare the stars in the sky? I know I've said this a million times, but the topic keeps coming up. And, there's been some things that the universe has taught me, and it's taken a decade to get, over a decade. I mean, this is 40-plus years now. So I don't mind repeating. I don't really mind saying something over and over. Because I already know sometimes with me, something clicks. Wow, I've been hearing that forever, but now I get it. Okay, so back to the program behaviors, just sharing a little bit. That whole thing about being afraid, being fearful. You weren't born being so afraid, fearful. Okay, let's get to today's topic. Trust, be patient, surrender, relax. Everything happens in time. Yesterday, I was introduced to a woman. She's a doctor. She says she's a Chinese medicine doctor. And she's not Chinese. She's not. Anywho, okay, back to the story. And she is one of the few doctors in the world. She's introduced herself to me yesterday. One of the few doctors in the world that has been working on. Hold on a second. Where's that paperwork she gave me? Of course, I can't find it. Anyway, it was fascinating how she's traveled all over the world, and her main focus is, of course, corona. Oh, here's something. No, that's not what I was looking for. Is coronavirus. And you know this, she had a mask on when we were talking, and her mask was over her nose only. So her lips were exposed, and I got off of it. Let me just get off this topic really quick. So her mask was over her nose, and she says the only way you can contract it is through the nose. Done. That's all I want to say with that, because that's not what this show is about. But my point is the introduction, now that this doctor and I clicked with our understanding of the universe. Okay, so let me just get that. Not that we agree on how the universe works, and not that we agree on everything, because we did not. However, the practice is when you remain open to listening to anyone, I'm talking for myself too, to listening and practicing. I always ask the universe, you know what I ask the universe for, my dear listeners? I ask the universe to eliminate my judgment. I don't know how you do it. I don't care how you do it. I don't care when you do it. But can you please eliminate all of my judgment? I've already asked them to eliminate the worry. Worrying is I would say 98% gone. Worrying. Are you kidding? There's no need to worry when you trust 100%, 500%. Okay, so back, I'm getting off track. And back last week, one of my regular listeners said, you know, Rebecca, I didn't even know what the topic was because you were talking about so many things. And I do have a tendency to do that. And I recognize that. So thank you for your patience. Back to today's topic. The behaviors that, the program behaviors, so if you answered yes to any of those, before Adam and Eve figured out, I'm naked, that is the place, that is the point, that is where I'm talking about living. Without this, when I say programming, I'm talking about the things that just are not true. No one can hurt your feelings unless you give them the power and allow them to do that. Your feelings are your responsibility. I know, I'm sorry. Can other people offend you? That's another one. So the point, the practice that adds to your contentment is making a commitment, a priority, 24/7, 365, a commitment and a priority to be an energy of peace, to be an energy of contentment, to be light, to be happy. And again, that happy word, the more I say it, I get it. The vibration of contentment. Would you think that if you felt content in all moments, I know, crazy question, if you felt that energy of contentment in all moments, can you imagine how the rest of this life would be like, feel like, look like? And that's where I'm telling you right now. Look, I had my eyes closed. And so I see people want to talk. That's where I had that is really. I'm shaking my head only because I'm in a place where I'm lost. I'm really lost for words. Let me go to one of the callers. Hold on a second. I have a caller here, area code. Let me just share before I go to the callers really quickly the non-program behaviors that add to your peace and happiness. We already know detaching from anything external, self-awareness, living consciously at all times, acceptance of self and others. And quite frankly, you can't accept others without accepting yourself, which means total acceptance, practicing trust, being okay with uncertainty, choosing your focus, choosing your perspective, surrendering to whatever is happening in the moment. Okay, universe, this is the ride we're going on today. Buckle up. Let's go. I trust. Let me get to my caller here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring you up. Area code. How do I do this now? Hold on. One of these days, my dear audience, I'm going to have a whole team but it's just not right now. Not right now. Let's see. Hold on. Area code 630. Area code 630. You are live. Hello. What's your first name? And thank you for joining. Thank you. What's your first name?
Yeah. Thanks, Lisa.
Lisa?
And I'm in Illinois. Yeah.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Do you have a question?
So, I was listening a little. I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I know I have to trust and just go with the flow, and I just found it real hard because something happened that I didn't expect, and that's kind of serious for me, and I just wondered if you see it being okay. I don't know. It's going to have to be, I guess. I'm too young to be without a car, but my 15-year-old car kind of is dying on me. It has white smoke coming out of the back. That's usually really bad, like, real bad usually. And it's very old and it's rusted.
You know what? I'm going to say something. This is the perfect call. This is the perfect call. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's why the show's called Reality Spirituality. You're talking about what happens in everyday life. And then you said a couple of things. Lisa, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what you said. You said, and I can feel your energy. Your energy is the opposite of light, and you just feel.
Well, I'm
sad.
I'm sad about it. I'm sad about it. I'm happy I got 15 years on the car, but I'm just kind of sad that this happened. But
look at what your ego is doing to you, my dear Lisa. Look at what your ego is doing to you. It's telling you what to focus on. All of the things. Focus on dissatisfaction. Focus on what's wrong as opposed to focusing on what you said. You just said it. I got 15 years out of it. 15 years is a long time for a car. And the other thing that you said, which is a program behavior, which is this is serious. This is serious. How about this is just what is? This is just what's happening.
Yeah.
See, and you have a tendency of doing that heavy thing, and the reason is because that heavy thing is feeding you. It's feeding your ego. Your ego is live and well living inside. And I don't want you to do anything about it. All I want you to do is recognize it. You have two entities living inside. You have the ego and you have the universal. So just recognize the different entities and witness that ego of yours is telling you, oh, this is serious. This is important. I'm sad. A car?
Right. I mean, it's not like you're dying. You have a cancer that's not,
Lisa,
that's not recoverable, terminal, like you have 3 months to live or something. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I just have to improve my attitude. It's just that, it's a big expense for me, but it's not the end of the world. At least it's not like I'm poor, totally like where I can't get a car. I went and got the car yesterday, ordered, and then it takes 6 weeks for delivery. So maybe I just need to be happy about it. And, everything's so modern nowadays. But I didn't like that everything's so computerized, but that's the way of the world. That's the way the car is now,
That's right.
Toyota Corollas used to be different. So this is keyless. So I already came up with a system, which I think is safe because, like I heard that once in a while they can be stolen with your fob. But everybody has keyless now. So what I'm going to
Lisa,
let me tell you what I did. So I looked it up, and I can buy a club. It's easy to do, and you can buy a Faraday that protects so that nobody could, get the signals if you're out during the day, and then at night you can put it in a Faraday box. It's just something you buy. It's like $25 at Amazon total, and then the club's $40. So, I guess I should just be happy about that,
You know what? Yes. And so this is, how do I say this? If you ever been on you've seen those scales, at the doctor's office where you stand on it and then the metal, you have to slide the metal over to the right, you slide it to the left to kind of get how much you weigh?
Yes.
So one of the things about you, my dear Lisa, is your slide goes to the negative more often than it goes to the other side.
It could take just one big thing happening, or something major, or something not real minor, but major to in between to get me to go to the left completely. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, it's not major. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're saying that this is major, and it's not major. You said it earlier. Yeah. You said it's not like it's life-threatening.
Right.
But the ego wants you to think. The ego wants you to think that this life stuff is major. It's not. It's not.
So how do you change your attitude more if I tend to go in that direction when something happens like this that isn't?
Oh, boy,
you have to really talk to yourself.
My whole body is chilling up. Oh, I love it. You're going to love this answer, too, Lisa. It's going to be so easy for you. You ready?
Okay. Yes, dear.
You ready?
Yeah, because I don't want to be upset for a month. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now I know you said you don't want to be upset. So let's this is the practice. So this I'm going to give you homework. So number 1, you every day, whether as many times as you want or not, you go outside, take your shoes off if you want to, feet on the grass or ground or cement, wherever you want, palms up in the air.
It's below zero. It's below zero. It's below zero where I am. I can go outside.
Don't go outside. So this is only going to take 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Okay. Or just run outside and come back. It's hands up. Hey, universe, it's below zero. I don't have a lot of time. How do I let go of this negativity? Done. How's that for easy?
Okay.
And then
well, I already know the answer.
And you let it go. You let it go. You ask the question, how do I let go of worry? How do I let go of negativity? How do I trust more? And then you let it go. And the other thing I want to say, is the practice is, because you asked me a question, how do I do it? The other thing is just to, number 1, practice acceptance that this is what I do. That's it. Practice, you know what?
Do you think also acceptance of what happens, that there are reasons for everything and that you have to accept that and not try to fight it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So number 1, ask for how do I let and number 2, accept. Whatever you're doing in the moment, instant acceptance. And acceptance, not acceptness. Acceptance. And then the thing with the ego, it will start to behave differently when it's being watched, when it's being witnessed. So all you do, my dear Lisa, ask how do I let go. Then you just start accepting who you are, where you are in this moment, and then witnessing, oh, look at me. Oh, all I can do is think about something negative right now. Oh, look at my ego. Scratch that. Don't say look at me. Say look at my ego. Oh, look at my ego. Oh, it's telling me that this is a big deal and it's a serious. So you watch it and then you watch it like you're watching a television show, like you're watching a drama, but you separate yourself from your ego because you are not negative. You do not slide that way, but your ego definitely does. So you let go of identifying with your ego. You are not your ego. How's that for an answer?
That's really good. That makes sense. Because, I've been on your show before, and I listen to, and I believe in that. Everything happens for a reason. And, well, why my car at 15 years and someone else's not when I only have 55,000 miles? Well, there's a reason for everything. It might be that, God forbid, you'd have an accident on it like a year from now. So God wants you to have a new car and be safe for the next 10 years and get an extended warranty. So don't try to fight it. There's a reason. So I think, I'm just gonna do that and just stop it when it happens, and then just go from there and not complain like I have to go in 20-degree weather, like 10 blocks to the store, but then I can have senior services pick me up one way. I don't need them both ways, but. You do Instacart. What did we do 3 years ago? So I just have to be a little bit more like that. Do mahjong, have them take you to this place where they do it. It's in the neighborhood.
Yes, and you know what else, my dear Lisa, and thank you so much for joining. You know what else? And again, just witness. Just witness your ego. Seriously, just witness it. Watch what it's doing. If you want to call in and speak with me live, the number is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. And on Wisdom, just ask to join. Back to, I want to share with you an analogy. I was pressured to come up with this analogy because one day my son told me, he says, well, you think that he didn't say that you're better, you think that you're better, but he did say that I thought that I was different than everybody. That was really his point. He was saying it as a criticism. I'm all ears because nothing is personal what anyone says to me. And then I'm saying, okay, hold on a second. How do I distinguish different types of people that understand and get what I'm saying and maybe some that don't? So here we go. This is what I came up with, and I'm pretty proud of it. And you've heard it on the show before. We are all avocados. Some of us are just ripe. Some of it, it's just time to be ripe. But we are all here with the same type of challenges, from finance to relationships to health to personal, you name it. Our dear Lisa, temperature, weather challenges. But the point is, how do you respond to all of it? So you can either react or respond. We've talked about this forever. React or respond. When life hits, and it does, the practice is, right off the bat, there is no judgment about whether this is good or bad. Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. It's a judgment. All judgments subtract from your peace. It is just what's happening. If you just practice that as a not judging, practice, and again, ask the universe, how do I let go of judgment? How do I let go of judgment? Don't think you have to do anything by yourself, and don't think that it's going to be difficult. It's easy for a fish to swim. It's easy for a bird to fly. This is easy when you let go and you really start trusting. Anything other than blind trust is going to show up in some type of is going to show up in some way. Distrust shows up in behavior, in your actions. Let me get back to non-programming behaviors that add to peace and happiness. Again, back to the topic. Making, desiring, wanting to contribute in a way that contribute to the peace in this planet. So my question to you is, are you contributing or not? No judgment here. Just asking. If anybody wants to ask a question or come up and make a comment, now is the time. Again, when I say happiness is a practice skill, the practice is reverting back to who you were when you were born. There's nothing wrong with accomplishments, titles, money, awards. I'm not saying any of that. But the journey as you know, is not a straight line. It's got a lot of detours, a lot of unexpected. And let me throw back at you, Lisa, if you're still listening, as you're still here. The practice of eliminating all expectations, you will never, ever, ever, ever be disappointed again. Expecting a car to last, I don't expect anything from an inanimate object. And in fact, 2 weeks ago, I think I already said it, I don't need to say it again, the tire went flat. 2-hour delay, who cares? And next moment. We are all experiencing just a constant, endless, next moment. And each moment is a lifetime. Each moment can be a lifetime of enjoyment in each present moment. That's a possibility. Enjoyment in each present moment. And that includes when your car breaks down. And that includes a negative health diagnosis. With practice, none of this is easy. Otherwise, everybody would be doing it. When I talk about lifetimes, one of the things that I would always ask the universe for help with is this thing about how do you live in the present moment, universe? How do you stay in the present moment? How do you stay out of the stories? And this is another thing, Lisa. You got a lot of stories. And recognize anyone that's listening, recognize those stories. Focus, pay attention to all of those stories that the ego will never, ever stop feeding you with what's wrong. Never gets tired of feeding that what's wrong. Never. That's where the patience comes in. That's where the practice of acceptance comes in. So where do you find enjoyment? Where do you find enjoyment in the present moment? Well, you don't find it living in a state of what's next moment. The answer for me, just for me, the answer is wherever I am, wherever I find myself, wherever you put me, wherever you place me, I'm going to be okay. Whatever circumstances I find myself in, the universe has already gifted me with whatever I need to get to ride the wave, to ride through it, to live through it. The universe has already given me tools for that. Hands behind the head, elbows open, legs crossed on a lounge chair. Let's go. But that can only happen when the ego has absolutely no say, no contribution, no injecting. It's always not going to be, Let me just share one more thing. And if you have a question, I have a question. I have a question for my audience. If you feel inspired, if you had one question to ask God, if you had one question, what would it be? I just thought about this morning. What would it be? I don't have an answer. Why? What would it be? We can even just bookmark that for homework. What would the question be to the universe? Why? What I do know, and what I do trust is that everything that unfolds is in divine order. Nothing needs to change other than my perspective. Huh? I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Ooh. I'm expecting him to make a change. Ooh. I'm expecting him to be any clearer. If you want to make things done, I really should learn the words before I start singing. Jeez Louise. All right. Well, that's all I have today for today's show. Thank you for listening. Reality Spirituality Radio is heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And now Reality Spirituality, well, we don't know yet. I can't make that announcement yet. Visit my website, which is supposed to be updated in the next few weeks, RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. LinkedIn, I'm on LinkedIn. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. YouTube channel, still work in progress. I'm patient. But feel free to check out the videos I do have on the YouTube channel. My first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, can be purchased on Amazon. And I wrote a chapter in the book I read, which was released in March 2022. And now it's an Amazon bestseller. Just wrote a chapter in that book, which is about my most influential author, David Hawkins. Until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who the hell you are. You're a physical extension of the universe. Your conscious energy, which is always evolving, always changing, always growing. Love is patient, and love is change. Love is change. Love is patient, and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Accept wherever you are in every moment. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It is about the journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, Global Happiness Specialist, Rebecca L. Norrington. Thank you for listening. Happiness is a practice skill, and I promise you, the more you practice, the more peace you're going to find. And your experience in this life, in this lifetime, reflects on exactly what you practice. Thank you for listening. Have a conscious week.
Yeah. Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Reality Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Get real. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Get real.